What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Daz Bones. Let me just say, excitement, stoked for this new Marvel Phase 4 panel reveal, which whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it. I'm still beside myself on everything that was revealed. Me as a martial artist and as a martial art fan, Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Let's as well as the Blade reveal with Mahershala Ali. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna start with that since that's probably. I mean, depending on who you talk to, each one of these movies and shows and things of that nature that came out, even the casting of the different shows and movies, which I'll go over as well, will be important to different people. But to me, and I know to a lot of people, that Blade reveal is crazy. Crazy. Not only the fact that it's not even going to be a TV show, it's going to be a movie. And then multiply that by the fact that it's going to be starring possibly, well, not even possibly, top 10, maybe top 5 actor in Hollywood right now, Mahershala Ali. And that's not opinion, that's pretty much fact. The man has Academy Awards out the wazoo the last 3 years. So, I mean, he's one of the hottest actors in Hollywood, and he's going to be freaking Blade. Again, I'm going to start there. There's a little bit of cause for pause because the MCU was so staunchly PG-13, and the Blade that everyone has come to know and love from the Wesley Snipes era is rated R. So it's like, okay, how much of that can be translated in PG-13 form? Honestly, again, I trust Marvel, but hopefully they lean into horror, right? I think that's how you kind of give the oomph and the, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, put the kids to bed, basically. Like, when you put Blade on, all right, put the fucking kids to bed. You know what I mean? We're about to see some vampires get their heads chopped off, things of that nature. I think what they'll lean into is they'll cut down on the language. Mahershala Ali, he doesn't need to curse to really convey whatever emotions they're going to need him to convey. And again, if they lean into the horror, right? They did say that Doctor Strange 2 would be their first foray into horror in MCU. And since Blade will come after that, then, you know, it is what it is. You know, horror will be established in their universe. They might as well use it for Blade. I mean, it's a movie, it's a story about vampires and stuff like that. So personally, I think if they lean into the horror, lean into their cast, excuse me, and really let that push the narrative, then, I mean, I'll have all the faith. The thing about it that makes it easy, especially something that was what's what I'm looking for, established in the first Blade trilogy, is the fact that when you chop a vampire up, they turn into dust. So you don't have to sacrifice the action. I mean, you just dust them. That's all. You know, you don't have to worry about blood and things of that nature. Just make sure that Blade is only killing vampires and that they dusting and that his language is clean. And then other than that, Blade will be Blade. And Mahershala Ali is a damn good actor, dude. So that is very exciting. And then the other very exciting thing for me, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Oh my God. That is a dope title, and that title has several implications on it. Just going quick, fast, and in a hurry right into it. Personally, I don't know much about the main actor who's going to play Shang-Chi. I do know a lot about Tony Leung. If he's playing Mandarin, which I suppose that he is, then that's another great cast. Tony Leung, I mean, what hasn't he been in in Hong Kong films and mainland China films. He's been in Red Cliff 1 and 2. He was most recently in, not most recently, but what most people might recognize him from, The Grand Master. He played the Gitman in The Grand Master. And he can do the action. He has some pretty good dry comedy, and he can also do, he has acting chops, basically. Simulio, depending on how you pronounce it, or Simulio. I have to research him, honestly. He wasn't, because if I'd have did a Shang-Chi casting video, he wouldn't have been in my top 10 for who I'd have liked to see play Shang-Chi. However, the minute that the news came out, I started looking him up. He has some stuff on YouTube. I'm gonna check him out, see what's up. I do have to say, boy is built. So, you know, put him in, not even a gym, but put him into some kind of stunt choreography action camp for about a month, 2 months, depending on how much action that they're really gonna need, 3 months. And I think that'd be good enough to catch him up to speed and to let him do what he needs to do. As far as story-wise, I'm not sure how much Kevin Fiege went into, because I wasn't at I'm in Connecticut. I wasn't in damn Comic-Con, so I didn't get to see the panel straight up. So I'm not sure exactly what he spoke about. But for me, what I feel like the movie should feel like is an interesting combination between John Wick and Big Trouble in Little China, right? Because what has been talked about since Shang-Chi was announced was the fact that he is kind of an international man of espionage and mystery. So it's kind of like an Asian James Bond, but if Bruce Lee was James Bond, basically, especially his old comics. So that's where the John Wick reference comes in, where he comes from, even though he's a martial arts master, whatever you want to call it, he comes from kind of a practical, real world, right? There's no mysticism there. And he'd be a fish out of water for him to realize that there's real mysticism, there's real magic, things of that nature. And that's where the Ten Rings comes in. Because again, as far as we know in the MCU, the Ten Rings is a terrorist organization that operates in independent cells, right? We don't know of the Ten Rings of, what goes on in the comics, where there's magic involved and ninja, and the Mandarin, the leader of the Ten Rings, there's a reason it's called that. So I feel like if they leaned into the mysticism part and the fact that Shang-Chi would be a considerable fish out of water, especially if they ditch the Mandarin might be his dad, all that really old school writing that Shang-Chi and Fu Manchu and the Mandarin come from, right? Like, ditch that. I don't even know if the new, I was about to call it New 52 like a butthead, but the all-new Marvel, if they did, redid his origin stories. But I know, from what I know of the Shang-Chi origin story, he and the Mandarin are tied very tightly to each other, and the storytelling is pretty suspect. Very old, very kind of wishy-washy, convenient writing. Hopefully they stray away from that, and Shang-Chi and the Mandarin don't really have anything to do with each other in terms of father-son relationship. But again, that's neither here nor there. That's exciting news. The other stuff, pretty cool. Honestly, I'm gonna do a whole different video on Thor: Love and Thunder, which is a dope name, by the way. Anyway, this is just a short video, almost 10 minutes long, just to express my excitement, especially for Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, and my boy Blade. Daz Bones out.